welcome back to the Elyse DeLucci Show, episode 57. We're here in my apartment on the Upper East Side. How are you doing? How was your weekend? I'm good. It's colder than I thought. I don't even know. One day it's warm, one day it's cold. I dropped my kids off for school this morning. It was freezing. They're like, Mommy, why did you put us in our raincoats? I'm just like, I don't know. I thought it's April. Anyway, back to the day. Broccoli is the only vegetable that's also a flower. Did you know that? The crown head of the broccoli plant. The crown head of the broccoli plant. The crown head of the broccoli plant, it's also a flower. So the whole plant, it's not a fruit or a flower. It's actually it's in the mustard family. It's a green edible plant in the mustard family. But that crown, that top, it's a flower. So this morning I woke up, my Victoria's Secret underwear ripped in half. This is the third time this has happened to me. Obviously the company's bankrupt. I'm sure some company's going to buy them out and, put them back together. And a lot of the stores, by the way, the Victoria's Secret stores closed around New York. But I buy my underwear from there, I don't know where you buy your underwear, but, they have like those 5 for $30 or they used to be 5 for $25. But I buy my underwear there, these thong underwear. They're flat, they're stretchy, they don't show lines. They don't have any tags or seams. They're nice, they're nice, they're good. They're good for when you're wearing a fitted pants. The problem is that the fabric, it literally just ripped in half. There I am, I'm walking, the whole front of the underwear just tore in half. Now, I'm sure I should be using one of these lingerie bags or not put them in the dryer. But this is not the first time this has happened to me with their underwear. Another time was the same fabric. I think another time before that was the same fabric. And you'd think I learned the lesson, right? But the thing is that they're good. You don't see the lines. The other thing with the Victoria's Secret underwear, another style, is their thongs, the lace thongs. They just get holes in them. My friend's like, Elyse, don't put them in the dryer. I'm like, I know. The thing is that when I'm doing laundry, okay, for all of us, like, I'm a little stressed. Anyway, the worst news. My babysitter has COVID. Yeah, and she's older. She's in her 70s. So, it's not a good situation. She's actually been sick for a few weeks now. It's been difficult. Luckily for my ex and I, we hadn't seen her for a few weeks beforehand because I had the kids and he had the kids and I don't know how she got it, but she did get it and she called us and told us and so we weren't exposed, thankfully, and the kids weren't exposed, but she does have it. So obviously we told her, stay home, rest, let us know how you're doing, and we're still paying her, of course, but it's so hard. And, this is just, I've said this before. And I know for you too. It's just the never ending. This is a never ending shit show. It's the never ending shit show. She's in her 70s. I hope that she recovers soon. She did get the first vaccine. She got the first Moderna vaccine, and she, but she still got it. She still got it. But, you don't have that full protection. And, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if she got it by coming on the subway and the buses to have to get to her house or something like that because, she lives out in Queens and, we're on the Upper East Side and that's how she has to get here. And if I didn't have to go back to my office, every other week, then we probably would have told her just stay home until most of the people are vaxxed or whatever, and we would have continued to do what we did in the beginning of the pandemic, which I had the kids one week, my ex had them another week, and we just didn't have her come because it just didn't make any sense. So we didn't want to put her at risk commuting, and she doesn't drive or anything. So that's that news, and so I'm sad that happened to her, and I hope that she gets better soon. I know that she will. She's a strong woman, but selfishly, of course, for me and my ex, we're just like, oh my God, no help. And of course, stand-up started to open back up, so just when I would really need a babysitter. My kids are so attached to her, I did have I had a couple babysitters here and there. And, over the years. But my daughters, they're just attached to her. Anytime a new babysitter comes in, they would say, Mommy, we don't like her. And of course, I get it. Because my nanny, my babysitter, has been with us since my eldest daughter's 3 months old. And she's like their grandmother. She's like their grandmother. My ex's mother lives in Wales. My mother lives out in New Jersey, and she lives like, almost 2 hours away. So it's not realistic for them to help. Oy, oy, oy. Speaking of the vaccine, don't you think it's so funny? I feel like there's different tiers of the vaccine. Everybody I know, most people I know got the Moderna vaccine. Then I feel like the one step above it, though, like the Couture version of the Moderna is like the everyday people vaccine. Then there's the Pfizer vaccine, the Pfizer vax, and that seems almost Couture because nobody seems to get sick after that second shot. My boyfriend just had his second shot of the Pfizer vaccine. He didn't get sick. He's like, oh, my arm hurt a little bit, but nothing. Anybody I know that got the layperson's vaccine, the Moderna vaccine, which is what I got, the first one so far. The second time they get the shot, they're sick in bed for a whole week. And I was saying that the 1% vax was like the J&J shot, but now I feel like I have to peel back on that idea because people are getting COVID after they got that. That was my thought. It was Moderna for the regular people, Pfizer, the Couture vaccine, and J&J was for the 1%. But now that idea is foiled, that people are getting sick after the Johnson & Johnson. I was reading an article in the New York Times the other day, and I was going to mention this later on, but it fits in well here. The article's so good. It's let me see if I have the name written down. Do I even know the name? Basically, it was a huge piece in the New York Times, and it says, can we go back to life can we go back to how we were before? And, as we look at life ahead of the pandemic, people are all wondering, how is our life going to be different? Can we go back to what we did before? Can we still do the things that we did? Work the same jobs in the same capacities that we did? And it's a really good article, and I recommend you reading it. It came out in early April, and you can find it on the New York Times website. But let me tell you something. I've said this before. I don't know if we could go back. I mean, for me personally, I've said this. Working from home has been such a game changer for me. Now, I've always worked in digital. I've always worked on the web. So I've always had the flexibility of working from home my entire career. I've been working about 18 years now. I've always had that flexibility working from home. This is the first job. This job that I have right now is one of the first jobs that just did not, from when I started, they did not say you could work from home, which is strange to me because, again, I work on the web. But you have a boss, you work for a company, they set the rules, da-da-da. If I wanted to set my own rules, I'd have to have my own company, right? So fine. But having said that, it made it all the more desirable to the thought of working from home at this place because, again, like I haven't been able to do it here. And then now I have, and I don't want to go back. And I think I've said this before, and I think a lot of people said this. The thought of I'm having lunch and dinner and breakfast with my kids some of the days. And, sure, I mean, don't get me wrong. The homeschooling is a terror. It's an absolute horror. But I'm never going to get this time back with my kids. So to think, for the last 13 months, I've been able to, every few days or every other week, whatever it's been, depending on if they're doing their school from home or if I'm working from home. But basically for the last 13 months plus, I have had some days where I'm having breakfast, lunch, dinner with the kids. I'm seeing them play. I'm seeing them learn new things. And it's just, I'm realizing this is life. Life is precious. I don't want to miss this stuff anymore. Right? So anyway, for me, I don't know if I'm going to be able to go back. But do I have a choice? Who knows? But in the Times article, they have all these really good quotes. So about just the everyday people that are just saying, like one woman from Virginia, she was saying, nowadays I don't skip walks with my husband just because I'm tired. She realizes how precious they are. Another woman from Michigan, she says she knows she's becoming someone different. And just all throughout, all throughout the article is just these quotes of regular people talking about how they're changing or how they feel in the moment that they're changing. One woman from Georgia, I wrote it down, and I love this. She said, I'm not going to try to be polite anymore. I'm going to hopefully become a less behaved, less likable, ballsier, more outspoken, more dangerous woman. And all these rules I had followed, these rules will not save me. This is a woman, Eileen Mello from Marietta, Georgia. And you know what? I love that. Why should you go around being polite? I mean, well, polite, obviously, common decency. But you know what I mean? I know what you mean, Eileen. You want to just go around and just be who you are and show up in the world and give it the best you got. And if people like you, fine. If they don't, they don't. That sort of has always been my motto. But you know what? What are you doing? You're living by all these unspoken social graces, these unspoken rules. Why? Life is so short. And I think the overall theme of this whole article in the Times was how life is short. One woman, which also I found interesting, she said, she was from California. She said, I could read you the quote. She said, I completely lost interest in traveling. I think most about wanting to have friends over in our home. For me, looking forward is all about making my deep roots here even deeper. Going away, obviously, is, scientifically speaking, if you plan a vacation and you go away, they say that it gives you something to look forward to, and, it makes you happier and all that stuff. And I agree. And I know that for me, that's the effect it has on me. But so many people would plan a vacation or plan a trip, and they would think that once they get there, that's what's going to be happy. That's what's going to, give them more happiness. Or once they acquire a certain thing, that's going to make them happier. Or once they, save money for a timeshare, that's what's going to make you happy. Is it though? Or is it making is it making your day-to-day life richer? So I just loved this article. I just totally recommend it. The date I think it was published was April 5th, 2021, in the New York Times. Can we go back to what life was like before the pandemic? Definitely check it out. It's just interesting. It's really interesting. When I went down to Florida, and obviously I was in Florida last week with my family, and I had a great time. And I came back from Florida, and I thought to myself, I would love to be able to, if I should afford to be able to one day buy a little condo down there and have this little place that I could just jump on a plane and go with my kids and make memories. And you know what? The idea of going, and I was saying this to my mother, and she's like, everywhere you go, you want to buy a place. And I said, yes, of course I want to do that. Of course, that I love that idea. But I said, but at the end of the day, I could go and I could plan trips. If I want to plan trips to this island, this city, that, whatever, fine. And if I could afford to do it, great. But if I pick one spot, one inexpensive spot, and I buy a little place, we can build a little life there, and they can have a little memories there, and we could pass down the place to them, or they can have it when they're older. Like, that has changed for me. That has become a very real idea. Yes, in the past, have I gone to places and thought, oh my God, let me look at that. The second you get to a place, isn't that funny? The second you get to a place, at least for me, I'd be looking on Zillow. Oh yeah. Oh, Fiji. Let's see what's for sale here. But it became this pandemic for me. When I went to Florida, I was like, okay, I really do want to. This would be nice to find a little second place with my kids, make memories in. And by the way, of course, I've always had my eye on Long Island. Just saying, out in the Hamptons and Norfolk, those prices ridiculous. So I'm not even considering that. I like Florida. The weather's nice. Anyway. Speaking of Florida, when I was there. I said I did some. I did some stand up. I opened for Mike Marino, he's a very, very funny Italian American comic. He's been doing stand up for 30 years, and he's just a complete pro. I've only been doing stand up for 4 years. So, let me tell you, those 4 years, it is tough. It is tough, and he's been doing it for 30 years. This is his life. He is a stand up through and through. I have come into stand up. I a little later, I think, in life than he had found it. But he's also about 20 years older than me. But, man, he is so good. And the feeling of being back on stage was such a great feeling. A little, definitely unnerving. I've been on stage here and there at other places. I've done outdoor shows. But indoors, people, the eyes looking at you. You're on stage with your material, your shtick. And, and it's weird with the mic. Sometimes the clubs are giving you a fresh mic when you're, because of COVID. Sometimes when you get on the stage, they're putting a little, almost like a little shower cap cover on top of the mic head to keep it sanitary. So there's all these little nuances you have to get used to, but it felt good. It definitely felt good. I have some shows, little shows here and there. Nothing big, nothing to write home about, but just little tiny spots around the city that I'm just going to be, going up of 5 minutes here, 7 minutes here, and that's really just it's almost practice for us comics, When I first started comedy, I would go, oh my God, there's this place downtown, Otto's Shrunken Head. It was a dive bar, or it still is. It's a dive bar on 14th Street and Avenue C. And almost every day, I would go there in the afternoon for a mic. And I'd leave work, whatever I was doing. I mean, well, you should take a lunch break. You take a lunch break at work. If I didn't take a lunch break, I'm going to leave to, do whatever I need to do in the afternoon for an hour. Nobody needs to know. But I'd go down to Otto's Shrunken Head, and there would be, me and like 15 other guy comics in the 15 comics in the room, and they were all men. I was the only woman, in sort of the back room of Otto's Shrunken Head. What a dump, but they had a little stage. And, all these comics, they were great. They're all crazy, but they're great. Me included, crazy. But it was so fun. But it was just a real grind. It was a real grind, getting on the stage in this dumpy dive bar in the bowels of Manhattan, and you're trying to find your voice and run material and read things out that you've rehearsed, or just have stream of consciousness thoughts and see if you can turn things into jokes. It's really, really hard. It's a lot harder. It's way harder than it looks, but that's like everything else, right? The great comics make it just look so damn easy. They just make it look so damn easy. I found a new word this week. I don't know if you know this word. I know I'm late to the game here. This is a sex word. So if this is loud, you gotta lower it. Okay, this I'm almost embarrassed to say this. This word, cuckold. Do you know what this word is? Cuckold. This word came up in a conversation with my girlfriend, and she said, I'm dating this guy, Elyse, and he's a cuckold. And I said, a what? And a cuckold. I said, I don't know what this is, like a cuckoo. And she said, no. She said, don't you like watch porn or anything? And I was like, nah, not really, but like, I don't know. Like, let me Google it. I learned something new. Here's the definition of a cuckold: a man who willingly encourages his wife to sleep with other people because it brings him pleasure. Specifically, the other people are other men. So I was like, well, I don't understand. Is that because the guy is bisexual, or is he gay, and that, and he's has a wife or a girlfriend, and he wants the woman to sleep with other guys because that's a turn on? And she's like, no, there's two sides of it. This is what she told me. There's two sides of it. The one side is The one side of it is an alpha male. A cuckold could be an alpha male, and he likes, what turns him on is the control. What turns him on is to be in the bedroom with his wife or girlfriend and another man, and to be able to have direct control on telling that other man how to please the wife, what to do, how to do it, or I should say, he wants to be so much in control. He wants to say to his wife, I want you to go get that guy over there in the bar. Or he wants to have a say in who she's going to bring home. There's this one, that's one side of it. The other side of the people being cuckolds is that these men they enjoy humiliation, degradation at the expense of the wife. So they want to see basically their wife, being tossed around like a big slutty hooker. I said, I don't know if I like this so much. I don't know how do you feel about this? I'm curious to know how you feel about this. I get it, I guess. There's all sorts of different fantasies out there, but I've heard of men fantasizing about women being with other women, but a man fantasizing about the wife or the girlfriend being with another man, I don't know how I feel about that so much. I think it's like maybe a little strange. To each their own, but if he wants to watch you doing the do with another man, I don't know. Now, there's another, then some of my friends like, well, she's like, since you didn't know what that word means, at least, she's like, there's another term, and it's the bull. I said, the bull, it's the bull. And she said, the bull is the guy that gets chosen to come into the relationship. So basically, the bull is like, he walks in like a bull and just has this no strings attached sex with somebody or a couple that's just eager and willing. Eager and willing. So if you're a cuckold, I guess you go out there, you go out there and you just find yourself. If you're a bull, if you're a bull, you just sit out in a bar maybe and you wait for a cuckold's guy to come over and approach you with a wife. I don't even know how this shit works. I think the whole thing is a little crazy. If you want to be sleeping with other people, why don't you just have an open relationship? How about that? I mean, do you really need to watch? If you're the guy, if you're a guy, I said to my friend, if you're like the husband, if you're a boyfriend, like, why do you need to watch? Doesn't that also make you feel a little schivats? Like, you want to see, like, the woman that you're with sleeping with another person? I mean, really? I don't know. I would not want to see my boyfriend or my husband sleeping with another woman. I would be crazy. I would be like, what the hell are you doing? Get off of her. And I would be crazy probably with the woman. It brings me no pleasure whatsoever. No pleasure on the pleasure spectrum whatsoever. I was in Walmart the other day and I saw a Milani lip liner that I loved. I love that brand, Milani. I don't know when they're going to pay attention to me. I actually sent them a note and I was just like, I talk about your lip liners all the time. I was like, just an FYI. But anyway, I saw this, I was in the Walmart. I saw a Milani lip liner. It was the retractable. It was so good. It was, so usually I use the pencil with the sharpener, but I don't always have a sharpener. So I got this retractable, lip liner, Milani lip liner, and all natural, and it's good. It's lighter than the all natural pencil for whatever reason. So Milani makes an all natural colored pencil, and they make the all natural colored retractable. The retractable all natural is nice. It's literally just like lined your lips. If you want to make your lips look bigger, but not being obvious bigger, the Milani all natural lip liner retractable pen was good. I recommend. On the product review note, oh God. So a few weeks ago, well, maybe a few months ago now, I went hiking and I bought these hiking pants. They were imitation Lululemon pants. Somebody told me about them, the brand, from Amazon. The brand was Crazy Yoga, CRZ, Crazy Yoga. Like, that's how you spell it. And they were great. They were great pants, and they I wouldn't think they were anything other than Lululemon. And they were a direct copy. Even the label looks alike. But I was telling a friend, because she wanted to get sort of like these parachute-ish pants. I mean, how 80s if that is me. You want to get parachute pants? I don't even think if young people know what parachute pants are. But anyway. She said, oh my God, Elyse, I know that brand. Crazy Yoga makes leggings that are just like the Lululemon Align leggings. So I've said this also before. Lululemon makes Align leggings, the style, which I love. But the leggings, they're $98. They're expensive. Crazy Yoga, they make an exact copy of the Align leggings, and I just bought them. Let me tell you what they're called. Crazy Yoga Women's Naked Feeling High-Waist Yoga Tight Pants 7/8 Workout Leggings. So, like, Lululemon has that 7/8 length, which is not like, it does, the 7/8 length come like right above your ankle bone. Anyway, these leggings, they're great. I think they're like $25 or $29. Here's the best part. The sizing, so I ordered a medium. I'm usually a medium in just things. I'm a medium. So I am pants. So I ordered a medium, except bathing suits. Sometimes I'm a large. Got a little junk in the trunk. But so I got a medium. The medium came, and I would say that the medium is probably like maybe the equivalent to a size 10 to 12, maybe an 8 to 10. I actually returned them and got a small. How good is that? So I think that if you try these Crazy Yoga Women's Naked Feeling High-Waist Yoga Pants, 7/8. Go do a size down. I could do both and just return. I mean, Amazon returns is so easy. But I got the small, and I was like, how good is it? How good is it when you get to buy a item of clothing, and the size runs just a little big, so you get the smaller size. Psychologically, it's a brilliant marketing concept. New York & Co. was fabulous at that, Yeah. But that's it. Crazy Yoga. I love them. I have them on right now. The ones that I bought were the 25-inch ones, the 25-inch leggings. Those are the capri style. So I'm wearing them right now. I have the Crazy Yogas on capri style. So that's the 25-inch. And I bought them in Lunar Gray, which is a light gray. It's cute. It's a very cute look. I like it. It's a cute look. It's not a dark gray. I was interested in maybe getting a white color for the summer. Not that I need to be wearing white and with what underwear underneath. God knows, because all of my underwear from Victoria's Secret just ripped. But the Lunar Gray is cute. I recommend. Quote of the day: Winston Churchill. If you're going through hell, keep going. If you're going through hell, keep going. I have that on a magnet on my fridge, quotable magnets. I love those magnets. They sell them in the bookstores or whatever. And the magnet is great. Every time I open the fridge, it just reminds me. I love it. And this quote, it's in a circle. If you're going through hell, keep going. And the words are in a circle. So great. Oh, you know what I wanted to tell you before I go? I don't know if you've watched the show Modern Love on Netflix. But I watched it. So Modern Love on Netflix, I totally recommend it if you have not seen it. So it came out, I think, in 2018 or 2019. I watched it then, but I just started to rewatch it over the weekend. And it's just fabulous. Modern Love is a column, a famous column in the New York Times, just about modern love relationships. And there was a guy, John Carney, who took the idea of the column and wrote and directed this show on Netflix. And it's just, I think there's 8 episodes of the show. None of them are connected. And each episode's 30 minutes. And all it does is it just talks, it's like documentary style almost, based on a true story. But obviously it's fictionalized, but it feels like documentary style. And it's just about couples in New York and the modern types of love, someone who slept with who and who had a baby by themselves or not had a baby by themselves, and how they choose to raise the child, or date. Or another episode is that Anne Hathaway is in. This third episode is so good. And it's about being a bipolar woman and dating and the struggles that she has dating and finding a new relationship. It feels very Sex in the City-ish. But it's very fresh. It's very real. It's very modern. Nothing about it is traditional. 8 episodes, Modern Love. Totally recommend if you're looking for something fast to watch or something that you don't want to have to get sucked in. I love it. If you do see it, let me know what you think. Anyway, that is all for the Elyse DeLucci Show today, episode 57. As always, thank you for listening. And if you don't mind dropping me a review on Apple Podcasts, I would totally appreciate, as usual. I'll talk to you on episode 58. I do have some good news if you are in the Nevada, Las Vegas area, but I will share that with you on the next episode. Anywho, I hope you have a great day or a great week, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks, everybody.